Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. InvestingHaven.com just posted an article titled Silver, a Divergence of Epic and Historic Proportions. The stars are aligning. The perfect storm is here. The floodgates have opened and silver stackers will get the last laugh. Silver Institute just posted the numbers and we have record-breaking demands this year. Silver demand broke records this year, and we're talking about 1.21 billion ounces in 2022. What have I been talking about for the last several years? How we're going to need more and more and more and more silver, but there's less and less and less of it. And investing 101 is low supply, high demand pushes the price up. Well, imagine in 5 years what the demand is going to look like. How many billions of ounces? We could barely even keep up with the demand right now this year. COMEX vaults are empty. LBMA vaults empty. Imagine in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now what the world of silver would look like. Not even just silver in general, as we need silver for EVs and solar panels. The world itself is relying on silver. So with that note, I'm going to link this article in the description. We have a lot to talk about. I put together a great video for you guys and gals today. I really hope you enjoy this. Make sure you subscribe. Link in the bottom left-hand corner is the best place to buy your silver. Miles Franklin, one of the only few authorized dealers that still works with the US Mint. If you like Eagles and junk silver, all that stuff, highly recommend. And not even just that, any type of silver, send an email to them. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. Andy Scheckman would love to hear it. He's the CEO. I'm sure you've seen him somewhere on YouTube. He's the top dog. And yeah, great company. I'm glad I can offer you to build that business relationship with them. So this is interesting. We got some good stuff. This is a brilliant article. Brilliant. Because they're talking about their forecast predictions, which they're sticking to the bullish side of things, but then they go into the numbers. Numbers don't lie. We do stick to our bullish silver forecast simply because the data points suggest that silver will turn bullish in the near future. And it's not just them saying that. Experts also say silver should resume upward path. And they go over this upward path for the next 5 years. 1 to 5 year tells you where he believes future is headed for this precious metal. Stick around because we're going to break that video or that article down in a separate video. There's just so much going on right now, and I'm glad I can offer you that. So let's look at this. This might start early 2023 or near the end of 2023 or somewhere in between, which is very interesting because I always talk about triple-digit silver around 2025, maybe 2026. But when you incorporate all the other variables, see, I talk about that because I'm talking about the fundamental supply and demand, the macro. But when you look at the micro, right, when you look at all the other reasons why people invest into silver as the dollar's collapsing, it could be a lot sooner. Both of those together, best of both worlds. It's a win-win situation. Silver is gold on steroids. So we expect silver to be more bullish than gold as per both detailed analysis in our silver and gold forecast. And with that said, there is one more data point that might not be the immediate catalyst for silver's price to move higher, but more of a support data point. The supply and demand imbalance in the silver market in 2022 is shaping up to be of epic and historic proportions. See what I was talking about? There's not just one reason why silver is the best and most explosive investment. There's multiple. One of those alone is a perfect and great reason. But when you incorporate X, Y, and Z, it's a ticking time bomb. So silver is taking over the green new world. It even says right here, all hail solar, the new king of renewable energy. The International Energy Agency, or IEA, calls solar the new king of electricity supply. And remember, silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, and light sensitivity. It's used in everything. Nothing can replace silver. Nothing is as useful as silver and won't be as critical as silver needs as we advance in this new digital technological era. So in all those writings, we focused on the intermarket dynamics as well as the chart analysis. We never looked into the details of supply and demand dynamics in the silver market simply because silver price is setting in the futures market. You might want to use the word price manipulation, which seems legit in this particular case. We refer to specialist Ted Butler for the specifics on how this works. Now, you don't just need Ted Butler. I can explain it myself. I'm not trying to say I'm, in that caliber, but I've been doing this long enough where I can also offer you the details. Price manipulation is mainly when they talk about this, it's called spoofing. Spoofing is when a bank, JP Morgan is known for this. They are the mascot for price manipulation, suppressing the price, rigging the price. They've gotten caught. 3 of their employees went to prison. They had to pay a $900 million fine. And not just JP Morgan, the Dutch bank, and Merrill Lynch and others, but JP Morgan's the most recent one. There's still laws being set as we speak. Their hearing is still in set, but 3 of their employees going to prison, 1 for racketeering, even the 4th. But regardless, this is what they do. They go on an exchange and place tons of false buy or sell orders on the exchange and cancel the order before it goes through. See, the hard part about this is you're allowed to cancel orders. So how do you catch someone with the ill intent that was never meaning to let that order go through? And what they do is then that changes the volume on the market, and the other investors on the market now have a false perception of what silver's doing, or all the silver being bought up or sold, and then those people basically start investing off of false data, and then they can trick or manipulate other users on that market to do what they want, and then they cash out from it, and they can do what they want with the price. And this is more of a micro thing. You'll see it happen for a couple days, like heading into the weekend. Silver will do something very, very odd, and then back on Monday things kind of come back or whatever. But regardless, silver is manipulated. That's not a myth. They've gotten caught. People are going to prison for it. If you want to go more, if you want to dig a little deeper, it's much more sinister on a level that Ted Butler actually did express in one of the articles I broke down a couple months ago. But regardless, that's basically what price manipulation is. Now, no amount of manipulation can outweigh the fundamentals of supply and demand, right? No matter how much money you throw in the other direction to try to suppress. When we're talking about silver's critical role as we advance in this new digital era, nothing can stop that type of explosive potential. So here's one additional data point underpinning the bullish picture in the silver market. Global silver demand forecast to reach a record high in 2022. This was the Silver Institute. Remember when I covered this, the data that the Silver Institute posted that certain day, a couple days ago, and I said, the Silver Institute's the holy grail of information. When they release the numbers, all these other articles are going to go off their numbers, and you're seeing that right here. So, global silver markets forecast to a record high, or a second consecutive deficit this year. At 194 million ounces, this will be a multi-decade high and 4 times the level seen in 2021. That's very scary when we realize how much silver we're going to need moving forwards. More specifically, the article looks at different types of demand in the silver market. Specifically, demand for physical for investment purposes is forecasted to jump 18%. I mean, solar panels jumped 16%. The investment sector, but also the industrial sector moving forward. I mean, man, it's insane. We could look at just the investment sector booming 18%, right? And we could say this is great. Even if we weren't advancing digitally and we're not going to need boatloads more, this is still a good sign. But then incorporate that. I mean, it is insane. Once all the stars align, there's no telling. And like Ted Butler said in one of his articles before, he said, and I quote, think of the highest price silver, the highest price you think silver will ever hit, and then multiply that times 100 or 1,000, whatever he said. And I mean, it's interesting that that's pretty bullish, but he is someone who's very bullish on silver for obvious reasons. Physical investment in 2022 is on track to jump by 18% to 329 million ounces, which would be a new record. Support has come from the investors' fears of high inflation, though, stuff going on between those two countries, recessionary concerns, mistrust in government, buying on price dips. The rise was boosted further by near doubling of Indian demand, a recovery of a slump last year, with investors often taking advantage of lower rupee prices. I mean, think about this. Think about this. You know, this global situation exposed the reality of what's going on behind the scenes in the government, exposed how broke the United States really is, but also you have groups of people who are basically not only protesting against the government, not only exposing the government, but bringing together how could you call this? We're joining forces, and we're bringing people together to represent how to protect your wealth, more specifically silver, and that would be Wall Street Silver. Wall Street Silver, yes, they pushed the price up to nearly $30 in early 2021, but that's where they were the spotlight back then because of GameStop and all that stuff. But they're still going. They're still buying more silver than ever, and they're rising in numbers just as fast. It's just nobody's covering them anymore. But if you go on there, they have 200 and something thousand members now. Back in 2021, when they pushed it up to $30, it was only a couple thousand. I mean, their silver's becoming more mainstream. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are newer, and if you are newer, let me know in the comment section below. But it's people are starting to get it, and people aren't selling on price dips; they're buying on price dips. Plus, you have Indian demand, which doubled this year, so there's just a lot happening. Below is a table where, in our view, the market imbalance is one of the number one thing that sticks out. See red annotation. This physical market imbalance, which is the supply shortage, is historic, and it's not just a big supply shortage jump of 4 times against last year. What have I been talking about for years now? I'm not trying to say, oh, I told you so, but I did tell you so. Or I told them so. You all knew. If you've been watching my channel, you knew years ago that this was happening or was going to happen. I've been talking about it. But now everyone else is kind of saying, oh, wow, the silver shortage isn't a myth. Wait, we really don't have enough silver. Wait, these vaults are actually being emptied. Huh, that's crazy. Maybe that Silver Slayer guy wasn't just exaggerating. I wasn't. Numbers don't lie. Sooner or later, the price should adjust to this reality. And that's what they're thinking. And that's what's going to happen. The reality is silver is extremely undervalued. And even though the physical silver market may not be the ultimate catalyst of the silver price, which I think it will be, the catalyst is unfortunately silver's futures market. And I do think that fortunately that won't be the catalyst for too much longer, because that's all a facade. That's all a facade. The digital side of things is not what silver's true price is. That is all a facade. All the silver on there is imaginary silver. If all those people tried to turn those contracts into physical delivery, the shortage or the facade would be exposed, and it will happen. It will happen. Theoretically, every single ounce of silver you hold in your hand, 250 other people digitally own that same ounce or think they own it. But the only person that owns it is you, because you're the one that's holding it. That's why I say invest in the physical. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. So, yeah, that's kind of where they're at. I'm not gonna go into all this because they're kind of promoting all that stuff at the end. But regardless, you need silver, and that's not, that's not just saying, oh, you should buy it. It's you need it, and not just to try to get rich. Silver is what makes you rich, because that is real money. That's real wealth. And holding your money in your bank account is literally letting your money just burn away right in front of your eyes. And my job is to spread the word to help people protect their wealth, right? So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Told you it was going to be a good video. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share this. Make sure you comment. Helps the engagement. Like the video. Leave a comment. It really does help. I really want to spread the word. I love when someone emails me or comments saying that they started stacking because of me. That's then my job is done. So yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to send an email to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen if you want to purchase from Miles Franklin, the best precious metals dealer in the world with the best prices. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. They'd love to hear it. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.